gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
On the fence. I'm on the fence.
We don't need to talk about
we left hook from Yaoundé came and landed on him, you know, so.
Right, okay. Well, welcome to the King's Court. This is episode 2 of the King's Court Meets. We are here with the first man to enter the PFL Europe ring, the first man to win in PFL Europe, Yorkshire's finest, Oscar, the Ginger Fury, Ownsworth.
I like how you announced my full like 5 years.
It's good to meet you, brother. Good to meet you. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm good. I'm good to you.
Yeah, very well. Thank you. Very well. But no, we're proper chuffed, and we're glad that you've asked us to come. Well, allowed us to come down to the gym here, ABT in Leeds. How are we feeling? We're like, what, 3 weeks after the PFL event?
Really good. Like, just about to get back into my next camp. So
yeah,
had a bit of downtime. Been working and stuff. Been catching up, recovering. Yeah, as you do. Like, I took a few shots, so I had like 4 black eyes after my fight.
It was a war. It was a fight.
Mate, I know. So yeah, took a bit of downtime. So ready to get back onto the next one now.
Yeah. Decent. And have you got anything in the pipeline? Have you got anything booked at the moment? Or?
So we're waiting to hear back about that one in Berlin.
Yeah.
I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna be on it, but if not, I'm hoping someone's gonna drop out.
Yeah.
And I'll jump in on that 8-man tournament. That was the plan anyway. I was just gonna train like all fighting on it anyway.
Yeah.
Like a full fight camp with or without an opponent.
Yeah.
So 8th of July, that's what I'm hoping for.
Keep fit, definitely. And I think that's what everyone needs to be doing at the moment in time. When opportunities come, jump on them. Jump on them straight away.
That's it. And if I don't get on it for whatever reason, I'll be ready to go on whatever show then straight after. You know?
Yeah. No, that's spot on. And actually, I saw an interview, I think, with your coach, Danny, and he was mentioning that, was it Lewis that actually was on the PFL and he actually wanted you to fight him specifically? Was that?
Yeah, so Andrew Fisher, his coach, he messaged me out of the blue saying, like, do you want to fight Lewis Monarch on 25th of March on PFL? So I will like message Danny straight away, like, this has happened, and he was like, oh, he should have messaged me, like, and then sorted it out. But yeah, they messaged Danny, messaged me and then messaged Danny and sorted it out through PFL. So I think Lewis were already on it, and they were looking for an opponent for him.
Yeah.
Messaged me, I jumped on it, and then got that one. So
Come
yeah,
on.
PFL didn't set that fight up. They did.
They did.
Yeah.
Dues, and well, it's probably the wrong guy to pick, because all that limelight is now on you, man.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was a great performance. Like, I was watching, I was taking notes and whatnot. But you seem, for me, and out of a lot of the fighters there, you seem like a complete mixed martial artist.
Yeah,
you're mixing in your shots, you're mixing in the takedowns in the 3rd round as well. The leg kicks as well.
Yeah. I always like a good leg kick. I always like a good leg kick. That's what it's all about. Chop the leg straight from him.
That's it. You sort of like, you tied him out really and truly. Yeah. Whether they stormed in the 1st round, and how did you feel about that fight?
Yeah. It was. See, like, I'm not just a striker. I know I like to strike. Yeah, of course I do. It's good fun, and I'm quite good at it. Like, but I am good at everything else as well. I don't just have to, I'm not just on about like defending takedowns. I can take people down. Yeah. I can submit people as well. I've just not had a chance to show it that much. But yeah, in terms of the fight, if it had been like earlier on and we'd have gone to ground, maybe we'd have seen like some more. But yeah, controlled him really easily on the ground, defended his takedowns really easily. Like, striking, he was a really good boxer, but I just like kickboxed him. Like I said, leg kicks played a big part in that.
That's it.
But yeah, like, I do feel like I'm a complete fighter.
Yeah.
Like in all round, and it's like training here with all the different styles that there is here. It's like it's such a good place to do it. So like, hopefully next few fights I'll have a bit more chance to show like what I've got on the ground. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
That's it, And yeah, you mentioned what a place for it, to be to sharpen those tools and whatnot. And you mentioned, we talked a tiny bit before about your journey into where you are now, sort of thing. So if you could give us just a quick background in terms of how you ended up at AVT.
Yeah. So I started training about 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
A local gym over in Sheffield. Trained all over the place. I've trained like many gyms over the years. Mainly stuck with one gym that I fought out of though.
Yeah.
And then I just started sparring here through lockdown. Because like we weren't allowed to train, but we had training on here and sparring and stuff. Yeah. We can say it now. It's no one's gonna get.
Hey, Boris was doing it, wasn't he? He was having parties.
That's it. I know, yeah, fair dues. It's all game, isn't it? So yeah, started training here back into 2020, and started training here full time beginning of 2021, and it's been great. I've just leveled up so much since then. A fight popped up from like 2 years ago, and I watched it back, and I was like, I can see like how much I've come on since in that time. Like, so, everywhere. So that's it really. Like I've done a bit of everything, but striking's been my main like focus in all my fights. Like every single fight I've had, it's like stay stood up. My coach has been like stay stood up, stay stood up. So that's kind of just where it's gone. So yeah,
it makes for an interesting fight as well when it's on the feet.
It's like what people like to see as well, like
the violence.
It's what people like watching, isn't it? Two guys just stood in there like hitting each other loads. I mean, proper fight fans like seeing grappling and wrestling and stuff like that, but the majority of people do like to see like just two guys going at it, and that's what I like doing.
That's what you're there putting on the show for people.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about.
Massively. I've been looking at some of your previous interviews and whatnot, and some of your background as well. And I saw it was like a 3-part series that was on YouTube about Man of Steel. Man of Steel.
Made of Steel.
Made of Steel. My bad. Made of Steel. Yeah. And you were well. In the end, you won the Cage Steel lightweight title. Swindon, was it?
Yeah. That were the Rage UK. Rage UK. That was my first British title that I won. That was the first ever MMA title I fought for as well. I've never won a single title. Fought for a kickboxing title once, but never competed for an MMA title. Yeah. So that was the first one, professional. Like went to the guy's hometown and did that. So
did the business.
Then a few months later won the Cage Steel that one.
Cage Steel that one as well.
A few months later.
Fair dues. And you have, it seems like on the national scene as well, there's a lot of like changes in opponents that you get.
Oh, yeah.
How would you manage with that? Because I'm sure if you're prepping for one guy all the time.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can prepare for one opponent. I think you have to just train your game and then just hope that guy turns up on the day. But we don't even game plan until like three weeks out. Like we'll just train the strengths.
Yeah.
And then we'll like start game planning for that specific opponent like 3 weeks out. Because 12-week fight camp, if you're just preparing for one guy, might be a striker. Yeah. And then 5 days out, he pulls out, and you're left fighting like a Dagestani wrestler or something. You know what I mean? You're done in, aren't you? Or you've lost. But yeah. So like, I think that's good. And you're never gonna get better at how you train if you're constantly trying to work on your defense for a certain person. So I think like that's been a big part of any opponent I've ever trained for. I've always had the same game plan.
Fair play.
So like it's just tweaked a little bit. Like one guy might be good at throwing head kicks, another guy might be good at a left hook or whatever. It's just tweaking it at the time to get through that, get past that sort of thing. But it's quite annoying though, really, because I really like analysing my opponents. Yeah. So like when they pull out, I'm like, bro, I've worked you out. Like, why are you gonna do that? But it's good. True. It's good to get that experience as well. Of like one guy I was supposed to fight a Dagestani, the Cage Steel title. I ended up fighting a Brazilian guy who was completely different style. Yeah. So it's like I said, same plan. That's just how I've got through it anyway. So
fair play. Hey, don't change if it's working, sort of thing.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
We want to see you on the pitch. Exactly, massively. That's the one. And like we want to see you obviously in PFL. There, PFL, you got to be making that call, definitely.
Yeah.
And is that gonna be the game plan continuing into PFL? I'm hoping for yourself, for your sake, that we'll see more sort of like continuation in your opponents leveling up and whatnot. You're gonna just take that game plan into that scene as well.
Yeah. See, like I said, I want to do a bit more grappling, but but we'll see. Like, I mean, it's my bread and butter now, isn't it? Like, so I feel strong at this, so I want to just keep growing a bit more skills. I didn't get to showcase what I've got as much in my striking as well because of the style of my last opponent. So I like to bring a little bit more flair into it, a bit more exciting, like exciting striking, a bit more grappling. But similar, That's what it is. Just change the little tweaks, like I said.
Yeah.
To who I'm fighting.
Decent.
Yeah.
And in terms of weight cuts, talk about more fighting now, weight cut and stuff like that. How are you? It's lightweight, isn't it? That you fight in time like that. How was your weight? How was the weight cut normally to get into those into fight week basically?
I used to fight at featherweight. Like, and obviously being 6'1", it was always like tough.
Yeah.
So now I'm fighting a lightweight, I just feel so much better.
Yeah.
I never struggled too much fighting at featherweight, if I'm honest. But yeah, weight cutting for me, it's just part of the process. I know people make it this big sort of thing that they've got to do. For me, it's just part of fighting. It's like turning up to gym or like, you know, having to diet, not having to drink beers. It's part of what you do is the fight.
Yeah.
So I take that into consideration. I'll make sure I do all the right things.
Yeah.
If I want to go out and have a meal with like missus and kids and not worry about it, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I don't like count every single macro I'm going through and like stressing myself out. I don't. Yeah, I'll just be like, right, I'll weigh myself every day.
Yeah.
Make sure like, I'm good. So like, if ever I'm too high, I'll have to do a little bit more cut. But like I work with a weight cutting guy, Marcus, Performance as well. And he's got we work really well together. He's just like, bro, you know what you're doing. Like, if you need any questions, message me. He's always there on other side of the phone. So going into weight cut, he gets my drinks and stuff all ready, and it's banging. This is part of the process. I don't mind it. I just get a little bit moody. I don't have to cut weight. Who's not gonna? You can't eat your nice food, can you?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, you take a relaxed approach to it. Like you see, even on the biggest stage in the UFC, in Bellator, and obviously in PFL as well, people don't make weight.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, but
it's bare minimum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bare minimum is to make weight. Like, I mean, I don't hold too much against my opponent for not making weight because we were fighting at middleweight at the beginning of the year.
bro, that's a big lad.
Yeah. That's
lad.
a big thing. Like, it's massive cut to come from 84 to like 70. You know, so I kind of expect him not to make weight.
Yeah.
But like, no, it is what it is. It is what it is. But for me, it's just part of the process.
Yeah. Fair play.
And you mentioned leg kicks as well. Having never fought in MMA, I'm always bemused by leg kicks. They terrify me. When you hear that slapping, especially when you're in the arena, I'm always like, oh! You love giving them.
Yeah.
What's it like to receive them?
Oh, bro. See, like when you hear like a big leg kick and it slaps. Yeah. They're not even the bad. It's the ones that you don't hear.
Really?
That are the worst. Yeah, because that's when it hits your bone. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like a thud. It's like, but yeah. I were in the middle of a fight and he kicked me and I was like, ooh, that's gonna hurt in the morning. Like straight away, like, I didn't feel it at the time. I was like, that was a good kick. That. Yeah. So yeah, at the time, like I say, you can't really feel it. If you do, then your leg's knackered. Like by that point, you're already done.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, they absolutely terrify me. When you're checking a kick, how much sting does that actually take off a kick as well? I'm always curious to know what percentage would you say?
Yeah. So like it depends how you block it. If you block it square on, it hits your calf. That's probably I'd rather take it on thigh than on calf.
Okay.
Like you're gonna turn your shin out and like you'll feel it in the morning. Yeah. But it's better than having a dead leg in fight though, isn't it? Like so you only like 5-6 good leg kicks and your leg's done. Like no matter how much conditioning you've got, if you're not blocking them, it's bad. It's a bad time.
Of course. Did you see the fight of the weekend as well? The main event with Izzy and Pereira?
Yeah.
Okay, so Izzy. So we were talking about this yesterday. Izzy was talking about how he played possum. Do you think he played possum from the point that kick landed, or was that part of his plan to pretend his leg was giving away and to shell up? Because it's something I'm not sure about.
I don't buy that, man.
You don't buy that?
I think he's got too much ego. Me. Like, you're not gonna I played possum. No, bro, he was getting lit up. Let's be fair. No offense to Izzy. You're watching this, I'm sorry, but he was getting lit up. Like, and he landed a good shot. It's one of go-tos for some people, isn't it? Like backing up to the fence. Hey,
Muhammad Ali was the best at it. The old rope-a-dope,
rope-a-dope.
I see a lot of that in Izzy as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's got slick footwork and he's an amazing striker. I aspire to be like Izzy. He's just such a... He's just next level stuff. But the basics really, really well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he's perfect. Yeah.
Seamless link. As you were coming up in the MMA game, who was your inspiration? Obviously, you've mentioned Izzy now, but when you were a little younger Oscar, who did you think, actually, I want to be like you when I grow up?
Right, so two main people when I was coming up, Paul Daly. Like, I know, Semtech. Oh,
Semtech.
Legend MMA that never, he were in UFC, but
I remember that fight when he got kicked out.
Yeah, I'd love to see how far he'd come if he hadn't.
He was an absolute animal.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
And Nate Diaz.
Nick Diaz?
No, sorry, Nick Diaz. I always
Nick
get
Diaz.
mixed.
Okay.
Nick Diaz.
Okay.
Nick Diaz.
Yeah.
As well coming up, and just with his boxing. Amazing, like boxing style for MMA. Terrible for boxing, but it works like really, really well in MMA. Like his style of throwing shots, and he just used to drown people. And I thought that's something I like to do, drown people, with like volume. Yeah. And that's just something that worked really, really well on. His cardio were immense. So Nick Diaz, Paul Daly, just because he's mint.
Awesome. And off the back of your PFL debut, what was the cheat meal? As soon as that was all over, got the victory. What was the celebratory meal? What was it?
Mate, went to have some drinks straight after. So my first meal after the fight were a kebab in German kebab.
German done a kebab. We need the sponsorship.
German done a kebab. Yeah. So that was my first meal straight after.
Really?
Yeah.
What, the whole doner box?
Yeah. Bro. Oh, it's the one.
What mixed meats? All the meats?
I can't remember. I remember it was about that big, though. Massive. Got everything in it. So that was the one. My favourite cheat meals, steak and ale pie. Steak and ale pie with beef dripping chips.
Northern lad, Yorkshire here. Lots of gravy.
Loads of gravy.
Awesome. And you briefly brought up here, your missus. Similar to myself, you're a girl dad. Two little girls.
Two girls.
Congratulations. Yeah. Any more girls?
Any more girls? No more girls.
You're done?
I'm done. That's it.
I'm in the queue behind you, brother. I'm not gonna lie. The missus knows, so there's no secrets here.
No, it's not happening. To be fair, she's not saying. She's like, no more.
No,
but just in case, I might still get him snipped.
And have the girls been down to the gym? Are the girls on the mats rolling and are they participating already?
My eldest. She loves kickboxing. Like I teach her kickboxing. And she's really into my little, not so much. Yeah. Like she just tries beating me up with weapons and stuff. So she'll always get involved. But my eldest, she's 6 and she's really into it. Nice. I want to try and start doing some jiu-jitsu and stuff. Just because I think it's good for them to do. Yeah. Like kids, they need some kind of sport. It doesn't have to be a combat sport, but you know what I mean. Some kind of sport But it's such a good, you get so many life lessons as well from it. And if you can do this sort of stuff, you can do anything really. Yeah.
And the discipline as well, and the routine and so on. So young, it will definitely help them out. So I'm inspired to do the same, to be honest. For sure. Awesome.
Definitely. I wish I'd have done it younger, so.
Yeah. What age did you start?
I were just gone 18.
18.
Yeah. I done we used to get, me and my best mate, we used to get a bottle of cider each, right? Yeah. And we used to go to local boxing gym, stash his bottle of cider outside, and do about 12 rounds of sparring, with no technique at all. Hit the bag, 12 rounds of sparring, and then you go out and drink his bottles of cider after when we were 16, 17. So I done little bits, but that's about as far as it had gone. Yeah. But so just came straight into MMA. Never had any experience doing anything like grappling or even striking wise to it. That's
and were there any other sports? Were you doing rugby or football or anything before that?
Nothing. I just used to hang about on the streets drinking and causing trouble and fighting and stuff. So but I always really enjoyed fighting. So I just I can do this legally.
Brilliant. And what does the day job look like? I think we were talking about that before, but go into a little bit of detail in terms of what you do in terms of your day job.
Yeah, so I'm currently through holidays, I'm feeding kids in low income areas mainly, and we do they're doing sports clubs, so getting them into sports and stuff what we talked about. Yeah. But I do the food for that through holidays. Fantastic. And but I've just got another job Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, working an MMA gym in Bradford. So so I'll be doing that.
Sweet.
That starts in May, I think. So yeah.
Okay. No, fantastic. Yeah, great cause. Awesome.
So you mentioned about that you started to train in Bradford. Is it Solid Impact that you?
That's the one.
You
Yeah,
said Solid
yeah,
Impact there, dude. So I know there's a chap Dominic Smiley, I think it is. That I think he was an amateur boxing champion as well. I think he's trains out of that gym. He's got a podcast with one of my boys, John Keenan,
nice.
as well,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So hey, we might.
I look forward to meeting him then.
Yeah, we'll come down. That's really good.
Yeah,
You mentioned also about really in terms of how you've come up, really, and whatnot, and obviously you've got other jobs as well. PFL, if we're talking business now,
Yeah.
PFL, are they treating you well? You know,
Yeah,
is there a
yeah, I
step
mean-
up as well financially there? Or?
Yeah. I mean, there's this potential for money. Like the money for that last fight wasn't great.
Okay.
They know that as well. Like, so I'm not too asked about saying it.
Yeah.
But like the money will come. Like I said to Danny, like I'm not bothered about the money. The money will come.
Yeah.
Like along with everything else.
Yeah.
Like for me right now, fighting's never paid me an income. Like never paid me an income, so I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
So I just carry on doing what I'm doing, and then a few years, like hopefully I'll be balling. Like, yeah. We'll get there. Like it's not something I think about when I take a fight. How much do they pay me?
Yeah.
It's like let's do it. I get a name and it's like let's do it.
Fair dues, fair play.
So-
And in terms of like how you pick fights or how you get fights, is it done through your manager? Do you speak to people as well? How is that normally?
So
work out?
I don't have a manager. Danny's like my manager.
Yeah.
Fights and stuff. So like, I think I've never had a manager or anything like that. They do look good, but it's nothing like they can't do. Like Jay and Danny, it's nothing they can't do for me. Like
Exactly.
unless a manager's gonna bring me like new sponsors or anything like that, I'm not interested really.
Yeah.
So yeah, they all sort me out my fights out. 'Cause they've got my best interests at heart as well.
Massively.
They obviously want me to win.
Yeah.
They're not bothered how much money they get. It's not to them. Money's not an issue, you know what I mean? It's like getting me further's their priority.
Massively.
So, yeah.
Massively. And any sponsors here, get in touch with Oscar, hit him up, you know. Hit him up, he's representing UK MMA.
Nah, do you have done a kebab? I'll wait for your call.
And talking about UK MMA, you mentioned about the talent even in this gym sort of thing. Have you seen a progression in the amount of talent from the younger ages coming up?
Oh yeah, massively. It's only gonna get bigger. Like it's just gyms are doing more MMA now, don't they?
Yeah.
Like before you had like boxing, jiu-jitsu, and they're all sort of separate, and you had to sort of like train them randomly all over the place. But gyms just do MMA now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and they start from really young age.
Yeah.
Like 6-year-old. So think like kids been training since they were 6-year-old. They're gonna be beasts.
They're gonna be
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's been massive, especially like UK scene. They seem to be putting a lot of effort into it. So
Yeah.
I just need to get government behind it now, put some money in as well.
That's it. That's it. We want to see
They do
more
with every
gyms.
other sport, so why
Exactly.
not?
Exactly. And when Dan Hardy was on at PFL 1 as well, and he was talking about how we've got the IMAFs and basically the youth amateur federations and whatnot. And he was saying there's a lot of talent coming through those ranks as well. And you're right. I think that level of sponsorship that's going into them needs to flow through to the underground and
definitely.
the rest of the UK.
Yeah. It's the kids, especially in like bad areas and that. Like, there's always gyms in bad areas. There always has been like boxing, and MMA is going to be the new one. So it gives them something to do and keeps them off the streets, like stabbing each other and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
massively.
getting into like drugs and stuff. Like,
Massively.
it's gonna be the way forward. So
Yeah.
it's only will benefit them.
Definitely watch this
Yeah.
space. Want to do a quick skit. So we've started to introduce just a little game, light-hearted,
Yeah.
quick fire questions. Yeah, first thing that comes to your
I'm
head.
rubbish at these. Get ready.
Right, we'll start. So chips and gravy or chips and curry sauce?
Oh, chips and curry sauce, actually. Yeah. I know. It's the one.
Leeds or Sheffield?
Sheffield.
Sheffield. Go on. Mai Tai or BJJ?
My tie.
Go on. Adesanya or Pereira?
Adesanya.
Nice. Tinnies at home or Bevs in the pub?
Oh, depends how much money I've got. Bev's in the pub. Yeah.
Bevs in the pub. Nice. I don't know if you're a footballing man or not, but Arsenal or Manchester City to win the league?
Oh, Man City.
Man City. Submission or TKO?
TKO.
Grappling or boxing?
Grappling.
Please. Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz?
Nick, I'll
Nick.
get it right this time.
Like it. And Paddy the Baddie or Darren Till?
Paddy.
Paddy. Fair play. Nice. I like some of those answers.
I told you I weren't very good at them.
Hey, each to their own. No, we like it. Again, you're coming off you're on a 4-fight win streak now.
Yeah.
In terms of, again, your next fight, we're hoping it's going to be in the PFL. We're hoping we're going to introduce some more grappling and show you submissions and your strengths there. Is there any specific way that you'd like to win, basically? You know, we've had TKOs, we've had decision wins. Do you want to get that submission win next, or you want to just mix it up? You're not too close?
Even I did say I want to do a bit more grappling and that. It's always going to be a knockout for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, always going to be a knockout.
Fair play.
Yeah, it's the one. It's the one. The highlight reel stuff, isn't it? Yeah, you always hear people say like, "Oh, you see that knockout on weekend?" You don't ever see people go, "You see that submission on weekend?" Like, it's always the thing. I think it always excites me as well. So.
It's true.
Yeah.
And then you talked about your background. What was the first sort of martial arts you got into, actually? Was it boxing? Was it?
It was well, when it was an MMA gym that I started out in.
Complete
So,
MMA.
like, yeah, but it was the striking that I like sort of felt better at straight away. So I mean, you're gonna really, aren't you, when you're eating stuff? But
It's true.
Yeah. It were a bit of striking, I'd say. So just overall, I liked everything. We used to throw elbows as amateurs and stuff like that. So I always thought that were pretty cool.
Fair
So
dues.
fair
play.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do, we've got our next interview next, and what we're trying to do is we want to really ask you a question, to ask a question to the next guest, not knowing who they're going to be. Most likely will be a guy, but any question that we should ask them.
All right. That's a tough one. That one. Yeah. If you could pick your fight name, what would it be?
Okay.
Because you can't really pick your own fight name, can you? You get it chosen for you.
Yeah.
So if you could pick your own fight name, what would it be?
What would it be? Nice, I like that one. Yeah. So I'm guessing Ginger Fury wasn't.
No, I didn't pick that myself. No, I didn't pick that myself.
We like it. Fair dues. Indeed, yeah.
Sound nice.
Oscar, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
thanks for giving us the time.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
All the best for the future, man.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.
Take
Thank
care.
you for that.
James on the kebab, other sponsors.
That's it.
Reach out to us to reach out to Oscar.
Give me a call.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
On the fence. I'm on the fence.
We don't need to talk about
Left hook from Yaoundé came and landed on him, so.